All right, today we're going to do something a bit different. We are going to fundamentally shift how you view and honestly how you spend your absolute most precious resource. Welcome to our explainer on the infinite worth of the finite hour. Go ahead and get comfortable, zero in for a few minutes, and let's dive into exactly why the ticking clock is actually the most empowering thing you could ever fully realize. I want to kick things off with a little thought experiment. Just picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you check your banking app, and boom, there is a crisp $1 billion deposited right there in your account. I mean, with that kind of money, you're set, right? You could buy a sprawling mansion, fly private around the globe, grab a fleet of hypercars, you name it. You would literally never have to stress about money again. But here's the catch. Despite all of that infinite, unbelievable wealth, there's still one thing you absolutely couldn't buy. You couldn't buy one single more hour of yesterday. And that is exactly why time is the only true currency. Every single one of us is born with, but literally no one can earn back once they've spent it. It's honestly a wild paradox when you think about it, because we protect our money way, way more carefully than our time. Think about it for a second. Most of us would absolutely never take a crisp $100 bill, crumple it up, and just toss it in the trash. No way. We fiercely protect our replaceable money. But those same people will effortlessly waste entire days scrolling endlessly on our phones, getting into completely pointless arguments online, or just sitting around waiting for this magical perfect moment to start something, which, let's be real, never actually arrives. We all know life is limited, but very few of us actually live like we believe it. Section 1. The King's Final Request and the Illusion of Infinite Wealth. To really wrap our heads around this illusion of wealth, there's this old story of a powerful king. And this guy had one singular driving ambition. He was going to be the richest man in all of recorded history. So he dedicates his whole life to building this unstoppable empire. He conquers vast lands, fills his massive vaults with literal mountains of gold, and becomes one of the most feared and powerful rulers alive. He had the whole shebang, everything you could supposedly want. But as he grows old and he's lying there on his deathbed, looking back at this massive empire he spent his entire life building, he makes one final desperate request. He offered all of it. His entire unimaginable fortune, every piece of gold, every acre of land, all his power, just for one more day of life. Just one extra day to breathe and exist. And you know what the universe's answer was? It was incredibly simple. No. Just an absolute flat denial. Because time has a very strict rule, and it's a rule that even the most powerful kings in human history cannot break. Once time leaves, it never, ever returns. You could have all the gold in the world, and you still can't bribe the clock to tick backwards. Section 2. The 24-hour deposit and your daily allocation. Now, that story of the king, it's not just some old fable. It's actually about all of us, sitting right here, right now. Every single morning, life makes a very specific, totally uncompromising deposit into your personal account. Exactly 24 hours. No more, no less. It is the ultimate equalizer. I mean, whether you're a billionaire or completely broke, a king or a commoner, you get the exact same 24 hours today. But we really need to look at the strict limitations of this daily deposit. Because here is the absolute catch. You cannot save these hours. You can't take today's unused time, put it in a savings account, and pull it out for a super busy day next week. You can't transfer your hours to a friend who's swamped, and you definitely can't borrow tomorrow's hours if you're running behind today. The rule is brutal, but honestly, it's fair. If you don't use today's time wisely, it just disappears into the void. At midnight, the balance wipes clean, and a brand new 24 hours begins. Let's put this into perspective for a second, because this brilliantly illustrates why time is infinitely more valuable than money. Think about the contrast here. If you lose money, yeah, it hurts for sure, but you can work hard and you can earn it back. Lose a friendship, you might be able to rebuild it. Even if a business completely fails, you can start a new one from scratch. But losing time, one wasted day is just gone forever. You are never getting it back. Time is, without a doubt, your ultimate, irreplaceable possession. Section 3. The Stoic Awakening and Finding Clarity Through Mortality. You know, throughout history, some of the greatest minds didn't view mortality as this terrifying thing. Instead, they used it as a powerful tool for clarity. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, dropped this absolute gem. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." And he wasn't trying to be grim or depress everyone. He was trying to wake them up.
Remembering that your time is strictly limited acts as this incredible filter. It just cuts right through the noise and gives you ultimate clarity on what actually matters.
Because once that really clicks, once you internalize that your time is running out, your priorities crystallize immediately. You stop chasing other people's approval because you realize how fleeting it is. You stop stressing over petty, small arguments that just drain your energy. And you definitely stop delaying your dreams for some magical someday that isn't even guaranteed. This whole Stoic realization forces you to stop wasting energy on the trivial stuff and start asking a much better question. Is this actually worth my time?
Section 4, the power of choice and demystifying success.
Okay, so how do we actually apply this finite nature of time to build something great? The mechanics of success really aren't magic. They are directly tied to how our daily choices shape our temporal wealth. Just imagine two different people. Person A spends years just waiting for that perfect wave of motivation to hit before they do anything. But person B, they don't wait. Person B simply starts today. And look, success isn't about person B having more natural talent or getting lucky. It's entirely because person B respected their time, while person A falsely assumed there would just be this endless supply of it later.
Just look at how person B operates. It's not about making these giant, exhausting leaps. It's about compounding actionable moments. It's literally writing just one page a day, doing just one workout at a time, practicing one new skill every single evening. You fast forward 5 years, person A and person B are living completely, fundamentally different lives. And not because of some grand sweeping gesture, but purely because of a quiet, daily respect for that 24-hour deposit.
So many people think success is just about blindly grinding yourself into the ground, working harder and harder. But philosophy teaches us something way deeper. Success actually comes from actively choosing what deserves your time. Because here's the absolute truth. Every single yes you give to something unimportant is automatically a no to something that truly matters. Time is a zero-sum game, guys. You have to actively choose what deserves your attention.
Section 5, Your Ordinary Hours and Building an Extraordinary Life.
We all kind of buy into this Hollywood idea that our future is created in one massive, dramatic montage, a big promotion, a sudden stroke of genius. But that's just not reality. An extraordinary life is built entirely through the ordinary, seemingly boring hours that most people completely ignore. It's these specific, quiet investments of time that stack up. It's an hour spent learning a new concept, an hour spent reading a book that actually challenges you, an hour spent being completely 100% present with your family, or an hour just quietly improving yourself in the background. Look, they aren't flashy. No one's handing you an award for them today. But these ordinary moments, they quietly and steadily compound into an extraordinary life.
So let's just lay it all out as we finish up this explainer. The harsh but incredibly vital reality is this. Money lost? It can return. Missed opportunities? They might swing back around. Even people sometimes return. But time? Time never does. The clock absolutely does not stop for anyone, no matter who you are. Before we wrap up here, I want to leave you with one simple but highly provocative question to really challenge yourself with today. If time is your absolute most valuable possession, why are you spending so much of it on things that just don't matter? I really want you to think about that. Use today wisely, my friends, because one day, today is going to be a memory that you can never, ever visit again. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.